Hi folks, well thanks for tuning in. Well, here it is, my Himalayan 450, which I've now had for about just over a month, just done over 1,000 kilometers or so. Today's video is my first video about this bike, and I'm sure there'll be more, but I want to get this out of the way because this is going to be a rant, and I make no apologies because I am really perplexed about the situation, about the seat. This is the original seat that it comes with, and I'll show you in more detail. And there are other options. Uh, so when I first went for a ride on it, I thought it's different. It's not as comfortable as I would have hoped. I was, but I thought I'll get used to it. I didn't feel any real pain or anything bad. I thought, well, it's different and I'll get used to it. But then after a bit of riding, I was starting to get really uncomfortable because what is happening is I'm always being pushed forward by the very shape and angle of the seat. No matter what I did, as I got used to riding the bike, I tried to go back and sit back. It always kept pushing me forward, so I'm crushed up here. And right here, there's no padding or anything. And honestly, this was starting to be very uncomfortable. So the dealer recommended the touring seat, which is a more comfortable seat. So I bought the touring seat, which I'll show you in a bit. And honestly, that got worse and I'll explain why. So now, after about an hour, I am really starting to feel more than discomfort. I'm feeling pain, and it's taking all my mind off the joy of having this bike. And there are many reasons I'll explain later why on another video why I really like this motorcycle. But the seat has been literally a pain in the crutch, and I couldn't ride for more than an hour. It was that bad. And after a weekend away, even on the touring seat with cycling shorts on, I was in so much pain I couldn't get on it. I didn't want to get back on it. So I'll explain all about to do different seats and explain the solution I've got now. Well, the bike's on the centre stand at the minute, and normally that would slope down, and this slope in the drive is slightly sloping down. So to compensate for that angle, I've lifted the front wheel up till the back's touching the ground. So in effect, this would be like it was sitting on level ground. So the angle of the seat is how it would be on level ground. And yeah, bike seats do curve and slope, etc. So this is the standard seat that it comes with. And, looking at it, you think, well, that would be comfortable enough. It's, quite well sprung, soft. It's not hard, but it's firm, but, pliant. And it looks like it should be comfortable. And I know there are probably thousands of riders riding these around, and no one's hardly ever said a word about how bad this is. Um, anyway, it's two-part seat. The front is adjustable in height. It's on the lower position at the moment. I tried both positions and I couldn't get to the bottom of it. Excuse the pun. But the problem is this pronounced raise here. Because no matter what I did, I tried sitting back, I would always come forward till I'm being pushed up against this. And there's absolutely no padding apart from just a couple of millimeters of padding on that. So your whole crutch is pushed up against here and there's no escape. And after time, it became unbearable. So I was after a few days with this bike, I was regretting buying it, wondering what on earth I could do about it. So I bought one of these pads you buy and stick over the top. I must put a photo into the video later. I didn't bring it. And it was a comfort pad. You can put on any motorcycle seat. And I thought I'll just take this put comfort here, and it would be okay. But no, for some reason, it just kept wanting to shove me up forward. And I just don't understand what is going on here. I've ridden so many bikes for great distances and never had such a problem. So this is the touring seat, and I thought it would maybe shape differently. It's exactly the same shape, but it's got a different material. It is more softer. However, the outer material is actually it's got a friction covering, and your pants seem to stick to it. So there's no movement on it whatsoever. So I found the fact that I couldn't get back on the seat, and my pants were sticking to it, and my weight was going forward. Then that was worse than the original seat, no matter what position I put it in. Just to show just how bad it is, this is my Vosges 300 Rally. I've ridden 23,000 kilometers on this, and sometimes long distances. I've ridden all day. Yeah, you get on and off and get on and off and stand up a bit, but this has a raise at the front, but and it's not very thick, but it's just spread out more, and it's just a different, completely different feel. That I would say now is luxury compared to the Royal Enfield seat. So my next thing I did was try the angle of the seat. I thought, well, if it's because I'm sloping forward, down all the time, pushing into here, then if I got the back lowered like it is now, then I'll be able to ride. So I put the rear end down and on the lower position and the front on the high position, as it is there. But of course you can't ride like that. I mean, look, that's a great big gap there, which you have to fill with something. There's also a gap here, and the seat's like this. But what I did is I wedged some cloth in here to hold it down, and I rode with it. And honestly, the angle made all the difference. I mean, I could ride with that if I could modify that seat somehow and make it fit in that position, because I was not being pushed forward by the angle of the seat all the time. And whether it's a touring seat or the standard seat, I would be absolutely fine. And then I found out about this just by chance on the internet. It's the rally seat, and it is an official Royal Enfield um, accessory for this bike. And as you see, it's a one-piece seat, and it's like an enduro seat, except it is reasonably comfortable actually. It's firm, it slopes either side, you can get your legs down easily. You're not being pushed forward all the time into a pointed lip. No, there's not much padding there either, but for some strange reason, just like on the Vosges 300 there, I find this far more comfortable than either the standard or touring seats for this bike. And I can ride quite happily on this at the moment. I've not ridden more than an hour so far, but it's far more comfortable than either of the other seats, even though it's intended for off-road riding, which is standing on your pegs a lot. However, this is what I've got. I've got no other solution at the moment, and I'll see how I go. Is it a case of all's well that ends well? Time will tell. At least now I can go out and enjoy riding the bike and really get the feel of it and report back. So thank you for watching. Live long, ride on.